have a lot of these journal cards to make, and I'm getting under the gun. So what I'm going to do is cheat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these cut apart cards. So I've picked 3 pages from Rolling Good Times and Outdoor Play. These collections came with these cut apart pages. And that's going to turn into quick, fast pocket cards for me so I can get this done. Let's see how many of them I'll make. These cut apart pages come with 4x6 and 3x4 sizes. My plan today is to focus on the 6x4 size, and then I will have options for the 3x4 cards. I could put 2 of these together and put them in a pocket, or I could also cut them apart or use them in different projects. First, our 12-inch trimmer is going to make it quite easy to cut these pages apart. This line is going to help me cut as close as possible. So now that I feel comfortable that I have my paper positioned, let's see how well we do. I have cut apart 12 6x4 cards and 6 more sets of 3x4 cards. I'm setting them to the side and I'm looking at what I have. And these 2 right here are going to go in my maybe pile because I don't have a match identical with these 2. These 2 aren't an identical match, but I am going to use them together on one of the pocket pages. And these are ready to go just as they are. So I'm going to cover these 2 with paper that I can write on. So at this point, I'm going to make tabs for all of these. Okay, starting with the top, I found this scrap. I'm going to punch 2 tabs for it. I'm not even certain which side of the tab paper I'll use. I think I like the checker one. Okay. For the green cards, I'm going to actually use this brown paper. It's from an old Croptoberfest. And now we're back. We have cut from our line papers some mats to cover this paper we cut from the cut apart papers to cover up those words. And that makes a lovely page. We have all of our sets ready. I think I'll round the corners, adhere that, and we'll be ready to go. Well, I'm ready to go with these 5 sets of 6x4 cards. But before we adhere our tabs, we need to know, are they going to be top left or bottom right? Remember, it depends on which way the card is going to go into the pocket. Is it going with the pocket over here, or do we slide it in with the pocket from this side? And in our case, we're sliding them in from this side to go in this spot. So that means they will be on the bottom right. So we will affix our tabs on the bottom right with these 2 cards. We will use our strong adhesive to affix them because they're going to get a little wear and tear. So using the strong adhesive, we will affix these tabs to the bottom right side. And remember, when working with the strong adhesive, it is less forgiving than the tape runner and the repositionable. So we want to try to get it right on the first time. And that slides in beautifully. And now we have this layout ready. Once again, with our red cards, we will put this on the bottom right. These cards will go in right here. So their spots are going to go top left. When placing our cards in, we want to be careful about making sure that our tab doesn't get caught on the sleeve So we just are gentle right there. And very fast, we now have quite a few of our journal pockets filled. I'm not done yet, but that goes a very long way. The next thing we want to make are the borders to go in these pockets. Now, they could be journal spots, but I like to just decorate mine. So we already had a border here. So next up will be our red border. I selected some punches and some scraps, and I'm just going to make some simple borders to put in these pockets for right now because I am in a time crunch. I find using my smaller trimmer to be the fast and easiest thing to do when working with projects like this. So I just need 6 inches to run through my punch. And I'm using the ornate ripples. This makes a lovely chain punch. Oh, how pretty. This punch came out beautiful, but as I see it on this white background, I do ask myself, would it look better on a different color? So I'm going to take a look. I found this scrap of red that I think will be just perfect to put this border on. We're cutting 6 inches wide and our usual 1 7/8. And that is a very lovely border. Let's get it ready. And that one is beautiful and for right now, ready to go. Up next, we're going to make our next background out of this beautiful black and white paper that came from an older collection called Right On. It actually had lines on the background. I'm going to begin by trying to cut a 6 inch by 1 7/8 piece. And next, I'm going to actually use the remnants of an index sheet. I'll cut it at 6 inches. I'm cutting this at 6 inches, and then I'm going to punch the reel. It's one of my most favorite punches. It's not wide enough for me to see. So I'm going to just come in here and run my paper so that I can see where the edge is and punch. And after I've made my first punch, the rest of my border, I just adore this punch. And now we have our second. For our next border, I'm going to use a plain white background, and I've cut down this scrap. I have to say, going from this to that, I like it. One thing I have found, when I find papers with a lot of design on it with a theme that I don't use very much, finding a punch that will cut a lot of that away so all that comes back out is color is one of my favorite things to do. And last but not least, I want to try something a little different. And instead of using a border punch, I'm just going to try to put some pretty motifs on this lovely background right here. On this border, I've chosen this pattern paper. Everything's from scrap, so I don't even recall which paper pack some of these came from. And I'm going to cut out this sunshine, and I hope it fits. Oh, it does. Great. And then I'm going to put also an umbrella. I'm going to take another scrap of this paper to cut the umbrella. Oh, I love how that turned out. I think this is called the fireworks punch. To me, I think of it as a sunburst. It can be both. And once again, don't you just love that versatility? Four very pretty, simple, and very fast borders to go in my journal. Let's put them in. And now, that makes quite a lovely spread. We brought this paper from here and here over to the left, blending in this page. I have no idea what I'll write about on this day, but it could be the weather or the food or just where we are in the world. And this is a great page to write down about the entertainment that we have while we're on our trip. And last but not least for this today, and I think this is a lovely page. They blend together so lovely with a little hint of color. And I did not even realize I used that same Passport to Adventure washi tape with the stamp motif on this side. And I used the punch that came with the Passport to Adventure collection on this side, which really brought the two pages together. And it was an accident. Or maybe it was just subconscious. We're coming close to finishing this journal. Look how far we've come. So many beautiful layouts. There are still some empty pages that we need to fill, but wow, we have some gorgeous pages. I'm going to enjoy writing in this as I go on my travels. Please join me for the next episode as I continue to try to finish this journal. And now it's crunch time. And if you haven't seen the other videos where I've made all of these other pages for this journal, please go take a look and see how I've almost finished this journal. And so far, with the exception of making this envelope, I've only used scraps. Everything in here to make this journal was made using scraps. And that really reduced the number of scraps I have in my room. And because of that, I'm going to really be excited about what comes next.